what would you mean benefits? And this is always my retort to them. I am half Akan and a little Dagati. If for any reason I want to contest somewhere in Akan land, I will go and identify myself to them as one of them. It's part of politics. Everybody does that. So to create an impression that there's been an extra benefit from that, again, to me, it doesn't hold any water. It is just because this time Dr. Bawumia is from a minority tribe, so it's being highlighted. If he was a Christian and he was going to church to seek their vote, would that be considered religious baiting? If he was Ashanti and he went to Kumasi and said, was identifying with the people there and asking for their votes, would that be tribalism? Now, everybody who enters the game of politics uses that tool from time to time. It's very different from coming to tell people that this person cannot lead us because the person is from here. That is what is called tribal bigotry. Trying to exclude people from leadership because of where they are from. This is something they have no control over. I don't think anybody chooses where to be born. It's something that you have absolutely no control over. And so that is why, as a nation, as a society, as a people, we decided that it's not right to discriminate on those terms. It's very different from the earlier scenario that I put out. Then people went even as far as to use the conflict, which to me was just, I can't find a word for that. I thought it was just completely inappropriate, because this is a very serious matter. As a country, we obviously have not been able to come to terms about how to solve this matter. People are dying every day. We see terrible images coming out of the Boko area. Sometimes it's even children that have lost their lives. It is nothing to play politics with. And that is even if the matter was true, and it is so far from the truth. As far back as 2016, there are press releases from one of the factions at that point accusing the then president, who was now coming in, His Excellency Nana Addo, who was supposedly picking sides in the faction and whatnot. Yeah. You can go back to before, in His Excellency President Kufuor's time, and there was something there that politicians were also drawn in. So to create the impression that now, because the candidate is a Northerner, not even from Boko, it is something that will affect us, and so do not vote for him. I mean, to me, using the deaths of innocents on this tangent is completely unacceptable. And I feel like all of this, the conversation is always driven into this side because there's a clear lack of messaging on the other side. How would you...
They're lacking messaging? And that's why they're resting on this?
Why else? If we
because, for instance, we've heard from some camps that say that, well, we're just saying the truth. There's nothing wrong with the truth.
Listen, if we are talking about who is going to lead the country, we are talking about who is going to be the president, who is going to lead the growth of Ghana. Shouldn't the discussions be about capability? Shouldn't the discussions be about what you plan to do for Ghanaians? Me personally, as a young person, all the conversations I have with other young people, that seems to be what they have on their mind, not